Hello everyone, Joe Bishop here, Bishop Back with Survival. Earlier I made some sulfur matches and you can see them down here drying. Most of them are already dried. I made a couple of paper, never done that before. And I was thinking, well, paper's a pretty good fuel. So I'm going to take it over here in the dark and show you how it works. See the blue flame? I got dripping on some paper down here. See the paper there? And what happens that sulfur will burn off and it'll start catching that paper really good. And that's how it does is see how the yellow flame's starting to come up. Turn it up a little bit, hopefully it won't drip on my finger. And see the paper down there? The sulfur dripping on it has caught it also, so that's a plus when you're trying to make a fire. I'm gonna go ahead and get this into my burn pit real quick. Try not to get burned by this. Come back over here and I'll show you a good look at my sulfur matches. Got that one globbed up real good. I'll do that drip, that blue drip, really well. You're supposed to really cut these down to like a point, like those there, and it helps catch quicker. But I just did this at spare moment. That worked really good. This is another one I did out of paper. And when that sulfur is yellow and it starts melting down, it'll start turning brown. It'll start getting off sometimes the smoke comes off a really bad sulfur smell because it's sulfur. Try to get on the opposite side of it and you dip your stick or your paper, or you could do cotton string would work really good. Just dip it in there and just let it dry, just set it out and dry. And when you put a flame to it, or even a piece of like an ember, I'll do this one right there on the end. You already see it catch off really quick. And that's why you want a sharp end on it. And this is fat lighter. Fat lighter is a really good fire starter to begin with. So you just help it out. You turn it up like so. Come over in the dark. Keeps burning real good. And what you're really wanting is that yellow flame to kick off, because that means your fuel's burning, not sulfur no more. You could even take probably a little pile of it, ain't tested it yet, but I bet you could just take some of that sulfur after it's dried in that can and scrape it out in a big chunk and light it on fire, put some fuel underneath it and light it on fire, and it would catch pretty easy. That fat lighter's kicking off pretty good now. Chances are you're gonna carry a bunch of stuff around with you, but like if you're at the house, and I always have a fire, we have fire all the time. out here, out back, and sometimes your wood's wet or whatever, and humidity's up, or you can use a couple of these matches to get things kicked off pretty easy, and not having to fight your fire. But I'm Joe Bishop with Bishop Backwoods Survival, and come over here real quick. Alright, that's another look at my sulfur matches. They're pretty easy to make. They last a long time as far as getting your fire going. And depending on what you use, like I use this fat lighter because it's got really good fire properties because all the turpentine that's up in the wood. So like I say, I'm Joe Bishop, Bishop Backwoods Survival. If you ain't practicing your skills, when it comes time to use them, you won't have them. So get out there and practice.